everyone. I'm in my kitchen this time. This is where I do a lot of my work, if I'm honest. Sometimes you just need the kitchen table, and I'm thinking that's what kitchen tables are for, all our painting and printing. So I've been sort of sharing in this video how I get started with a new idea, and the beautiful potted lilies that were in flower when I came home from my wee break were really a starting point. And I just started with the two colours, pink and brown. And in the video so far, I've been showing you the sort of way I gather, and I gather materials and I create materials. So for example, in this one, I created some new ink out of avocado, because as soon as I saw that brown, I thought of that sort of ink. So I'll spend some time gathering, and in that gathering time, I'm having a little think. So I'm just going to show you now how I put that all together into one page from which I can then launch off. So I'll change the camera over and you can see what you think. Okay, so here's my page. It's a single page. If I can't get it on one page, then I don't feel that I can pop off it, because I feel I've got too much information. So this is a Pink Pig journal, 12 by 12 inches, which is a great size for this sort of work. And really what I'm trying to do is to capture all the gathering that I've been doing and place it onto this page. But I do it in a way that makes sense to me. And if you were doing this, it would look very different from mine. But the most important fabrics, I think, are then selected and placed on the paper. And that's really important, because that really sets the tone for the colour, particularly as I hand dye. So this one here was hand dyed with madder, and that's becoming an important colour in this work going forward. And this one here was hand painted with silk, and is actually bamboo silk. So it's very sustainable fabric from the point of view of animal cruelty, less sustainable from the point of view it takes a lot of water to produce it. So I don't paint on a lot, I just have small amounts and I just use it occasionally. But then the other things on here are very much the papers and some of the other fabrics, the vintage lace and the colour palette. And I'm just really starting to gather my ideas in a way that makes sense. So some of the papers that were really important to me were the bubble wrap printing that I did onto old music paper, which I thought was a really nice effect. This was a digital printed paper, one of my own, with some Inktense circles on it, and I loved that, and I felt that very much echoed that. And then other things were just, this one here is sewing pattern paper, which is my new favourite thing to print on. You have to be very, very careful. It's the old vintage ones. You'll get those in charity shops, but it's a super, super fine paper. So when we're working with layers, of course, we're looking for thicker papers, and then we're looking for thinner papers. So really, when I'm putting it together, some of my ideas are starting to come together, and I'm starting to think the sorts of backgrounds that I like. I really like the coffee with the gesso stencil over the top. I really like that effect. And so you're bound to see that come up in the work going forward. And in this corner down here, this was some brusho paints, pigment paints, just with a stencil onto white cotton, and I quite like that contrast. So you might see both of these. It's very hard to tell at this stage what from here will go forward, but in selecting to go on here, I've already moved the work on another level. So hopefully in future videos, you'll see where I've gone with that. I popped a link to my Etsy shop below, where a lot of my finished products obviously appear, so you can see what you think from there. But it's a journey, isn't it? It's a creative journey, and these pages are a real joy to work with. So I hope that's helpful.